Welcome to Chemistry of Love and Life. The universe is the vastness of light and the absence of light. Everything exists because of a chemical reaction. Every chemical reaction has an effect. Every chemical reaction has a cause. Everything that matters can be described using chemistry. Chemistry is sometimes described as the study of matter. Matter is anything that takes up space and has weight or mass. All matter is made up of 3 particles. These 3 particles can be broken down into smaller units, and that information is for future presentations. There are protons. Protons have a positive charge. Their current flows in a positive direction. Protons have weight. They have a mass of 1 atomic mass unit. An atomic mass unit is a unit of measures as a kilogram is. The abbreviation for an atomic mass unit is AMU, like kg is shortened form of kilogram. An AMU may also be referred to as a Dalton. And we have electrons. Electrons have a negative charge. They have a mass of 0 for our purposes. Their charge makes up for this lack of weight. Their current flows in the opposite direction than positive. Neutrons. Neutrons have a mass very slightly more than protons. For our purposes, they are the same. Neutrons have the mass of 1 AMU like protons. Neutrons are neutrally charged. They are indifferent. They do not exhibit any flow one way or another. These 3 particles come together to create all matter. Everything that takes up space and has mass is matter. All matter is made up of these 3 particles: the protons, the electrons, and the neutrons. The proton is pulled by a nuclear force to the nucleus. Electrons are minute particles which are attracted to the protons. Matter thrives on indifference or neutrality, meaning this flow will attract electrons according to the number of protons. Neutrality is a goal of most reactions. Bringing to center a common ground is the desired outcome. This representation is one of hydrogen. When there is 1 proton in the nucleus, the atom is called hydrogen. Hydrogen is the most abundant element in our universe. This is how hydrogen exists most of the time, only with what is needed to bring to center or neutral. It has the weight of 1 AMU. It is the state of oneness. Electrons create the reactivity of the element. Chemistry truly is the study of actions and reactions. These reactions are dependent on the electrons in the outermost orbit, shell, or surface of the element. Electrons are not allowed in the nucleus of the atom. Electrons circle or orbit the nucleus, creating a field of reaction. The number of electrons is 100% dependent on the pull from the nucleus. The number of positives or protons is what gives the element its essence. The essence is the true nature of something. The essence is how something is perceived. When the pull from the nuclear core attracts 2 protons into the nucleus, there is the corresponding of 2 electrons. Looking at a periodic table, you will see that the element that this has 2 protons in the nucleus is helium. Helium has the atomic number of 2. This representation is one of a hypothetical helium, as helium never exists in this state. Hydrogen is the only element that exists without the other particle. Neutrons are indifferent or have no measurable charge. They are present in the nucleus due to the nuclear pull. Neutrons do not appear to have any charge, and they have a substantial weight. This is slightly greater than a proton, and for the purpose of this video, neutrons have the same mass of 1 AMU as a proton. Helium usually exists in a state where the pull in the nucleus of 2 neutrons. Bringing it all together, an atom is the basic unit of chemical elements. What I created are 2 representations of hydrogen and helium atoms. An element is a substance consisting of atoms that have the same number of protons. Elements are the smallest form of a substance in which it maintains its personal integrity. Hydrogen and helium are both elements. This means that whenever there is one proton in the nucleus, it is a hydrogen molecule. And whenever there are two protons in the nucleus, it is helium, and likewise for every element. A molecule is the smallest functioning unit of a chemical compound that reacts in a chemical reaction. The periodic table is a table to share elemental information. On this new table, the number above the elemental symbol is the atomic number. That number is the number of protons in the nucleus. When looking at the periodic table, you will find hydrogen at the top of the first column. This is the column on the left side. Let's look at the weight of helium. The molecular mass of helium is 4 AMU. How did I know that? Well, looking at the periodic table, this mass is shown under the elemental symbol. When looking at the representation, this agrees. Protons each have a mass of 1. So, 1 plus 1. Neutrons have a weight of 1. So, 1 plus 1. Electrons have a weight of 0. 0 plus 0. When we put this together, we have 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 0 plus 0 equals 4. When I take this back to hydrogen, you will be able to see that the molecular weight is 1 AMU. One proton weighing 1 AMU. The one electron weighing 0 brings the total weight to the mass of 1 AMU. When the pull from the nucleus attracts 3 protons, which attracts 3 electrons, and 3 neutrons, this is lithium. When the pull of 5 protons, meaning that we have to have 5 electrons and 5 neutrons, we now have boron. When there is a pull of 6 protons, needing 6 electrons and 6 neutrons, this is carbon. Is the number always the same for the 3 particles? No, as in hydrogen there is no neutrons, and many of the larger particles have a different number of neutrons than the number of electrons and protons. The atomic number, which represents the number of protons, also represents the number of electrons in the neutral atom. In order to calculate the number of neutrons that are in the atom, one can take the mass number and subtract the atomic number. This will represent the missing weight, and since neutrons have the mass of 1, it can be directly compared to the number of neutrons. A summary: the number of protons in the nucleus is equal to the atomic number, which also matches the number of electrons. The mass number is equal to the number of protons plus the number of neutrons. Bringing it to love and life. The core, nucleus, or center can be considered the connection to the highest power, whatever that may be for you. The protons are the free will. This is free choice. This is the option to resonate with whatever highest power is chosen. This is the frequency or energy that is emitted because of that choice. The frequency of the being resonates with the core. The heart entrains to that frequency. This may be considered the life essence, the true nature of the being, the flow or frequency which matches where the most time is spent. This is the flow of life. The frequency of the heart will create an attraction which is totally dependent on the frequency of the nucleus. This frequency attracts the electrons or belief systems. These belief systems appear to have no weight, and they initiate all reactions and actions to life situations. Belief systems are the perception of life or how life is accepted. This affects how everything believed is seen, heard, and received. When this attraction does not serve in a positive manner, they will neutralize the positives in life. They will create volatile situations. Belief systems can create unease and discomfort on any and all levels of the body. When this attraction serves in a positive and productive manner, it creates abundance of what is positive and is wellness creating. It creates harmony and truth. The frequency of the core is what attracts the neutrons or life situations to the being. These items have no charge. These get attracted to the core. They become connected to the life flow. These items are often so close to the heart that they are not seen. They are neutral and create weight. Weight can create action. When a weight is propelled in a directed path, it can accomplish much. From the muscles in legs to the strength of an eggshell to the great pyramids, it is the relationship between the weight and tension that causes strength. Life situations can cause strength and progressive growth. Life situations can create wellness, abundance, and vibrancy. Life situations are neutral. Every situation is a neutral event. The only time life can cause distress or unease or disharmony is when the belief systems are of a less than optimal frequency. Stress is neutral. Stress is tension. This is the pull and push of life. When there is no pull and push of life, there is death. Stress is the situations of life. Stress is life. It is the actions to the reactions that cause distress. Distress is a choice. The items that may be considered stressful are items which have been perceived through fear or anger. Every physical experience has an emotional root. Every emotional root is caused by a belief system. Stress are neutral situations that may cause heaviness and unwellness. These can be considered a toxin. Toxins are simply situations or people which have a different frequency than that which is desired. There is no toxic or negative people. We create the toxicity through the perception of belief systems. Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It could be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics. By Albert Einstein. Every belief system, situation, frequency, etc. is manifested by where the mind spends the most time. Energy follows thought. Choose it, believe it, live it, be it. You are worth it. You are enough. You can do this. You are perfect. Thank you. By Tamaine Geldenhuys.